Yeah, I did. Well, I saw them and I wasn't sure. And then everybody's kind of like, I got them coming in there.
Block you off.
Oh, yeah.
You can, if they're holding, they just for like 2 hours.
I was actually
they're now practicing. So here, you want to feed it. I'm assuming
That's what everybody.
happens in like the next 2 seconds.
right? Yep, hand by one.
Yeah.
And then when we know
What's supposed to be like? I don't. And I also don't believe that I know.
And then we went to BA, you can find a BA.
Yeah. From the cavity is like Florida.
My brother lived there today. What's that movie that those guys sell guns to whatever?
Called
That movie that those guys sell guns to everybody.
Border Boards.
Yes, like that.
With Nicolas Cage. Yeah. I heard of a lot of it, yeah. It's pretty good. Yeah. I think I've done and he did this crazy egg. I was like, War Dogs. Yeah. We're thinking from Jonah Hill. Yeah.
Basically, we're sourcing it. this actually comes in pretty good. Hey, folks, there was a stabbing on the subway 1 block away.
Yes, 1, 2, 3. Just test, audio test, 1, 2, 3. Audio test, 1, 2, 3.
Hey everyone, it's Morgan Mackay here from Fox 5 News. So what we're looking at right now, Luigi Mangione is expected to appear in court at 1 p.m. He has been indicted last week on a federal murder charge in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. And today he's going to be appearing before U.S. District Judge Margaret Garnett for an arraignment. Federal prosecutors submitted a formal notice that they intend to seek the death penalty if Mangione is convicted. And as you guys can see, supporters have been lining up to express their, Free Luigi posters, and they've been outside for quite a while from what we're hearing from our reporters out there in the field. So we're going to take a couple of you guys' questions, what you guys might be feeling, and I think a couple people wrote in, and our producer Alex is going to, So cameras are not allowed in court. This is a law, actually, that New York State has been fighting to get at least cameras in court for a while now. But no cameras in federal court. They will, I think, allow for pictures when he's seated, I believe. Last time they did, they were able to take just a couple pictures and then they had to leave. So we are likely going to still see Mangione in court today, probably just in a couple still photos. A lot of Free Luigi comments. So right now, I think a lot of people have said, or at least some people have said that this is a bit unfair to have a death penalty on somebody who has only been accused of one murder. However, prosecutors have said that they are hoping that this will serve as a sort of warning. They're a little bit worried. I've heard about some of the political impact of having somebody motivated in this sort of way when it comes to these killings. I know a lot of people have said that he was motivated in this killing because of healthcare concerns. We, of course, don't know too much because Mangione has not spoken and his lawyers have not given a motive yet. So we are still waiting to hear, kind of what led to this alleged murder. And we're going to have to see how this court process plays out in the next... It's going to be a while, too. It's going to not be a fast court process. So the federal charges are separate from the state charges. The federal charges are he's going to be going to federal court, federal judge. The state charges, they're not seeking a death penalty here in New York State. And so he's going to have to be kind of splitting his time between federal court and state court. For at least federal courts, they're calling it a quote premeditated, cold-blooded assassination that shocked America. These are all allegations, here in the States, he is going to they're not seeking the death penalty here in New York. Yeah, so on December 4th, Mangione, so a little bit about Mangione. He's a 26-year-old Ivy League graduate. He's from a prominent Maryland real estate family. He allegedly, according to authorities, they are accusing him of gunning down Brian Thompson outside a Manhattan hotel on December 4th. And then you'll remember, and Thompson, by the way, was an executive who, with a CEO of United Healthcare. And you'll remember back on December 4th, there was that shooting in broad daylight. And then there was a manhunt that went on for a while, a 5-day search. And the Mangione was caught and accused of this murder. But he was arrested on December 9th in Pennsylvania, about 230 miles west of New York City. And police say that Mangione had a 9mm handgun that matched the one used in the shooting. And also they say he had a notebook that expressed hostility toward the health insurance industry and wealthy executives. And this all happened at a McDonald's, actually. They spotted him and called the police. They say it matched part of the description of the wanted posters out there. But of course, these are all allegations that will have to be fleshed out in court. So the arraignment is expected to begin at 1 p.m. So in just, goodness, a few minutes here, 3 minutes, it's about to start. We'll have to see if they start on time. Sometimes they take a little bit, but as you guys can see, a lot of people are lined up waiting outside because they're hoping that when Mangione's lawyer comes out or prosecutors come out, that they'll talk to the press momentarily. And that's been one of Mangione's lawyers' sort of strengths in all of this, is getting some of this public sentiment behind Mangione. I think a lot of people have felt frustrations toward the healthcare industry. So, it's interesting to see how they are using that for their benefit. So it is controversial right now. It is controversial, I think, on one hand, I think everyone, again, Mangione is just being accused of these crimes. These are just allegations. But I think on the one hand, people feel frustration around the healthcare industry. I think everyone has been saddled with healthcare bills that are out of their budget. And so I think a lot of people feel that frustration, I think, with the healthcare industry. At the same time, this man, Brian Thompson, who was killed, had a family. He had a wife. He had kids, and he was gunned down in broad daylight. And I think a lot of people are also just saying, that's also not okay. And if this was done as an example or as a warning to other health executives, that should be taken seriously, and that they want people to not repeat that or not have sort of copycats in this. So it is really controversial right now. I think a lot of people are split on where they stand on the issue for sure. And it's going to be interesting to see just how much public sentiment plays into this case. I know a lot of people, because of this passion and so many people getting excited about this, I think that's one of the reasons why as well federal prosecutors are seeking the death penalty, because they're seeing everybody's emotions and passion behind such a controversial issue. Are we going to see him? So again, I believe what they've done in the past, and I'm not there, but what they've done in the past is they will have him seated, and then they'll have cameras come in just for okay, we might just court sketches then. So it might just be court sketches today. Maybe they'll be able to work out something in the future. I know when I covered former President Donald Trump's trials, or President Trump's trials, when he was former president, when he was in federal court, they allowed cameras in for just a moment to just snap a couple pictures, and they had to leave. Maybe they'll work that out in the future, but as of right now, we are expecting court sketches. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
I don't need to move right now. I want to spot them for what I do. Yeah, because I'm like,
Sorry.
I have to run
I don't see them. Maybe they're down there, but some
Wait,
people
I'm the only car blocked. What the hell, man?
The guys, these guys are standing right here, right? Hey, Diane. How's the music? Yeah. Huh? Oh, did you take time off? Oh, the music is. That's exciting. Maybe you can quit your job. I'm praying for you. Wait. I hope I never see you again.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you for showing up today. We have a very special case going on today, and I just want to. It wasn't necessarily me. It was I have a twin brother, looks exactly like me. And what's going to happen today is we're going to go inside this courtroom, and we're going to prove that all the evidence the state has against us is not true. So thank you so much. I hope you all have a chance to look at some of the information we provided. And we ask the public to hold off on judgment until the judge has had the opportunity, the public has had the opportunity to see the evidence. Thank you very much. That was the line, and you just went right over. Had to ruin your moment.
I gotta go to class, but I was just seeing you as well. Fingers crossed. I'll see you. Take it easy.
So, court for Luigi Mangione just got underway about 3 minutes ago. His arraignment in federal court in front of federal judge, U.S. District Judge Margaret Garnett. It was supposed to start about 1 o'clock, but it seems like it started just a couple minutes after. So he is in a brown jail uniform of MDC Brooklyn, and he's not in civilian clothes. Only state court allows for civilian clothes, not federal court in this instance. So they asked if he has read the indictment, and he said he has, and they asked how he will plead, and he says not guilty. He also, it seems they have made an application for bail. It's not clear yet, of course. This is all just going on. That was about 1 minute ago. And so we'll have to see what happens next with that. But this is federal court, and federal prosecutors have now submitted a formal notice that they intend to seek the death penalty if he is convicted. And last week he was indicted on a federal murder charge in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. So right now this is just an arraignment, so this is kind of the setting up for what the trial is going to look like. They're going to go through discovery rules. They're going to go through trial court date schedule. Just start setting up some dates for when evidence has to be turned over. They're going to start setting dates for, how soon people have to let them know, for example, witnesses or different stuff like that. They're going to go through all of that. Those are just kind of like what today looks like. It's just kind of like the cleanup a little bit, or the setting the stage before a trial. Yes. So Mangione again was wearing a brown jail uniform, not civilian clothes, as allowed in state court. And they asked if he read the indictment. The judge asked if he had read the indictment, and he said he had. And the judge asked, how do you plead? And he said, not guilty. Right now, they are going over discovery rules. They're talking about search warrants, social media, information from the Pennsylvania prosecutors, and also from the Manhattan DA. There's likely going to be some overlap between his state case and his federal case, of course. It seems like federal prosecutors are planning to produce a lot of the evidence in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And they're saying that they are coordinating with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. They're saying that they're hoping to turn over all of the discovery within 30 days by May 27th, it seems like right now. So right now we're looking at cameras set up, reporters. They're all hoping to interview Luigi Mangione's lawyer when she comes out a little bit later. She's been very friendly to the press. She's been taking a lot of questions. And so hopefully she'll talk after the court hearing. Also, I think they're looking for some federal prosecutors as well. Hopefully, maybe we'll talk. It's maybe a little less likely that they'll talk. Prosecutors often keep things a little closer to their vest as a trial plays out. But in this case especially, Mangione's defense attorney has really been hoping for public support for Mangione, so she's been very willing to talk to reporters to get their message out. I do not know if Luigi is handcuffed. That we do not have pictures yet. We're just getting updates from our reporter in the courtroom right now. Another update just came in. They are expecting experts at this trial as well, it seems. Federal prosecutors are saying that they are going to be calling on at least the medical examiner, Mangione's lawyer says they're not prepared to address that at this stage. So what's next after this is, again, this is sort of setting the stage for a trial at later dates. So the arraignment is just sort of the process where he gets to plead guilty or not guilty, and he pled not guilty in this case. And then they sort of set a whole schedule for a trial. They look at how soon do prosecutors have to turn over evidence like security cameras, witness statements, different things like that. They have to turn over all the evidence that they're going to be using in the trial. They set dates for when all that evidence has to be turned over to Mangione's lawyer, and then they start to set a date. We're probably going to learn when they plan tentatively to start the trial. Of course, a lot of these dates get moved around as a process plays out, but we're going to get kind of a snapshot, a general snapshot at least, of where this case is going to go in the next few months at least. Okay, yeah. So possibly he was not, we just, a reporter hasn't told us yet if he was handcuffed or not handcuffed. So if someone else says that he's not, we haven't confirmed that yet, but we are working on that. We know about the outfit. We don't know what he looks like yet. We haven't gotten too much color yet from our reporter inside the courtroom. They're just sort of listening to the judge and sending out notes. The next update that we just got, federal prosecutors are saying they want to have a trial probably in the fall. No specific date, it seems like, yet, but that's what they're aiming for, is the fall. So Mangione's lawyers could speak. I would place my bets on the fact that she would speak, but we don't know for sure yet. This is sort of the waiting game. This is why we have cameras and reporters all lined up outside, because they're hoping that she will come outside and talk to reporters about kind of what was going on. Usually after court cases, his attorney has been very friendly to the press and really answered all of the questions and taken time to give updates on Mangione's status. So we'll have to wait and see, but if I was a betting woman, I would say yes. So federal prosecutors are seeking the death penalty for this alleged murder of CEO United Healthcare Brian Thompson. So they are saying that they called it, quote, premeditated, cold-blooded assassination that shocked America. That was what one federal prosecutor said. The killing and the 5-day search leading to Mangione's arrest is another reason for why federal prosecutors say that they're seeking the death penalty. They right now are, there's two cases, both on the state case and the federal case. The state case is not seeking the death penalty. But prosecutors have said that this is a motivated killing, and so that's one of the reasons why they want to sort of make an example of Mangione here. But we are likely to hear a lot more as the months continue. Again, this is very early on in the process, and likely our reporter will have much more a little bit later today as well. I do not. That is, I think we usually use Jane Rosenberg, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're using that one today, but figuring that one out. Perfect. And one last update here. Mangione's lawyer is saying that there was a handshake agreement that the state would go first, but now that the death penalty is sought here, they are looking to have the federal case go first, not the state. So we might see his trial play out in federal court before we see it play out in state court. So we'll have to wait and see. Again, this is all conversations that they're just having in the courtroom, hashing out the details before they come to a final decision on where to go from here.
Sorry, we're waiting for attorneys.
Met de beautiful. Met de beautiful. Ja. Een filmpje.
So Luigi Mangione has pled not guilty. He is being arraigned right now in federal court. He was asked if he has read the indictment and understood the charges against him. He said yes, and then asked how he wished to plead. He said not guilty. He is wearing, one of our reporters says he is wearing a brown prison jumpsuit. He's been in Brooklyn jail since his arrest. So another reporter called it a mustard-colored jail suit. So not really sure for kind of like a brownish, yellowish maybe. And he is in court still right now. They had said that they wanted the state court and the state case and the federal case to be operating or running on parallel tracks, as they called it. The state case would likely go first. But Luigi's attorney today in court said that she is likely going to have the federal case go first. She said they were looking to have the federal case take precedent because it involves a death penalty. So we could be looking at this federal case playing out first before this state case. The judge just deciding a few minutes ago that on December 5th, that seems like that's going to be the next time that they meet at about 11 a.m. They're going to set a firm trial date in 2026. So we're looking at the end of the year. They're going to set a trial date for next year. Again, this is a federal case. And you're going to remember that this federal case, prosecutors are looking to seek the death penalty against him. That has to be approved by the judge. And, the Justice Department, this is really the first time that they're pursuing the capital punishment since President Donald Trump returned to office. He vowed to resume federal executions after they were halted under the previous administration. His state charges, though, are different. And I'm going to get that here. His state charges carry a maximum punishment of life in prison if he is convicted there. Mangione has been accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, and that led into a 5-day search for this accused killer. Again, these are all allegations, and this is going to be a very long trial process. They are setting, again, the judge is not going to be probably meeting with all of them until closer to December 5th because they want to give the prosecutors a lot of time to turn over all of the evidence to Mangione's lawyers. So this is just going to take a lot of time to turn over all this evidence. Now, one other thing that seems like it's coming up in court from one of our reporters, Mangione's lawyer is accusing state prosecutors of listening to a call between her and Mangione, and then that call was given to them by the Southern District. So I think federal prosecutors are saying that's the first they're hearing about it, but they're likely going to be discussing that further at another time as well. It seems like court just adjourned about 2 minutes ago, it looks like now, a few minutes ago, maybe more like 4. Again, this is just an arraignment, so this is setting the stage. What they did is outline the schedule, when people are going to have to turn over evidence like cameras, witness testimony, and stuff like that. Seems like people, as you can see, are leaving the courtroom right now. Again, court just adjourned. These are the reporters all shuffling out at this moment. And I think we're hoping and waiting to see if Mangione's attorney is going to speak to the press. And she has in the past. So I think it's a little likely that she's going to speak. But we're all just waiting to see. Again, as you can see, these are reporters filing out of the courtroom at this time. We have cameras outside also to catch federal prosecutors if they plan to speak as well. Perfect.
So this is over, so heads up on...
So it seems like next steps right now are they're going to be turning over. They set out a whole schedule of when federal prosecutors have to turn over certain evidence in the case under New York's discovery laws and federal discovery laws as well. This is a federal case. So right now they're pretty much like setting a schedule. So they have to, like, they're giving federal prosecutors a deadline for when they have to submit motions, and then they're setting other deadlines for when Mangione's lawyer has to submit a response to these motions. So a lot of it is like paperwork for until it seems like December 5th is really the date that we're all going to be looking for, and that date could be pushed back depending on how discovery goes and how evidence sharing goes. But it seems like on December 5th, the judge is going to be setting a firm trial date that's going to take place in 2026. So the June 26th court date, that is likely, I don't actually know. Yeah, he's appearing in state court. It's not part of a trial yet. Again, these are some introductory hearings going on right now, sort of just a process. Also, it's unclear if maybe that will get pushed back or if that will get moved around, considering this federal case are now looking at to go first. I think a lot of this is going to be decided as this all gets worked out here. So I think that is one of the things that they are looking at, bail. I think that's one of the requests that Mangione's lawyer is asking for. I don't know if the judge decided on that today. I think he said that he's going to, if Mangione's lawyer wants to make an application for bail, and I think she said she's going to be doing that. So again, this is very introductory. This is very, very, very beginning stages. As you guys can see, lots of people coming out here, a lot of reporters waiting to see. And when they do start speaking, we're going to be switching to that momentarily. It looks like somebody's leaving here. I'm not sure who that is, though. I am also curious where his lawyer is as well. I would imagine... I'm trying to see who they're chasing right now. But I think a lot of people are hoping that she's going to come. You're going to see, like, right there, the microphone's right there. I think they're hoping that she'll walk over. Oh. Let's see. We might listen in now.
I'm not doing a press conference. Brief statement. Well, no. If there's one takeaway. Out of the way. Okay. It is that. Out of the way. Get out. That this case is being speed run in an unprecedented manner, where you have multiple cases running simultaneously, and one of them is a death penalty case. So you have a capital case that's being speed run, which we don't do that. We don't do that here. We don't do that in America. We don't do that with our justice system. We don't speed run justice. That's it. So are you a Luigi Mangione supporter? I'm a supporter of the justice system being done in a fair manner.
Did you feel like what you did was right or wrong?
Come speak. And now I understand why. Ow!
Don't ask questions if we don't want answers.
Press pins. Michael.
Tú que estás ahí, mira, tú ves que... Súbeme un ching el micrófono ahí, manito, míralo ahí. El 5, el 5. Gracias, bye, gracias.
Ahí.
Así, mira, para allá. Más para allá, así, así. Le hace falta Viagra.
Chico, eso está roto.
Le hace falta Viagra.
My goodness.
Thank you, bye, thank you.
I will go down. You like?
Yeah, I am nice.
Oh.
You're all nice.
Hello. Okay, I'm here.
Okay, I don't know. They told me your shop was blocked.
They're not. They're not.
Told me your shop. Huh?
They're not
No?
So I have to check. That's what he said. He said they're not coming. Hey, was this considered an arraignment?
Yes.
Thank you. They called for
vemos el martes. Se molestaron porque no estaba aquí, que porque cuando salió el... And I'm like, you guys told me my last show was at 1. Y a la 1 no iba a haber nada. ¿Quién estaba? Peggy salió.
Estaba haciendo vivo.
¿A qué hora sale en vivo?
No sé, pero estaba con 14 haciendo vivo. Cuando yo estaba mandando el tuyo, cuando yo me estaba en el carro, Jacob me dijo que tenían uno como a las 12 o antes.
¿Qué qué?
Que tenían uno antes que nosotros, parece.
A mí no me dijeron nada. Recién me llamaron hace 20 minutos.
¿A qué hora querían que estuviera?
A la 1, pero a la 1 en punto no había nada. Y a la 1, o sea, yo le dije, te mando eso porque no hay nada. Y me dice, no, que sale desactualizado. Yo le digo, pero ustedes me dijeron que hasta la 1 solamente podía trabajar con Felipe. Entonces, ¿yo qué puedo hacer si yo no tengo camarógrafo después de la 1? No, ya, o sea, que porque no estuve, pero yo le digo, pero ¿para qué voy a estar si no puedo usar a Felipe después de la 1? No entiendo. No importa.
Pero ¿quién te regañó?
Valeria. No me regañan, solamente me dicen, pero ¿por qué no estabas? Y yo como que, pero ¿qué te puedo decir? Si a la 1 no iba a pasar nada, porque recién ha entrado Free a la 1:20. Entonces a la 1:20 están llamándome como locos y yo estoy saliendo. Y yo les digo, ya, pero, o sea, no, que tenías que haber estado afuera. Que tenía que haber estado afuera. No importa, no te preocupes.
I'll get that in there.
How's it looking? How was he emotional? What did he say? Were they treating him well?
Christian.
No, nobody wants that.
Why? Oh, you're saying that? Oh, why didn't I do it?
I'm shooting.
You have to edit
No, YouTube. Oh, yeah, they're about to come down. Let me, hold on.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'll show you what they did. So why I'm not here. Yeah.
I thought like he was shot. I thought he was shot by the market. See that? See, when he was coming in, I don't know if he could actually come in. I was sitting in the back, and I was looking at him, and he was walking through the door, and I felt like, I don't know if he made the motion himself, or if the marshal was sitting there, but there was this. You didn't see that? Yeah. He kind of fell through the door as if he was shot. That's what I observed, but I was in the you have a better seat. You should have.
Yeah, no, I should. All I'm gonna do for the
do? Do a Q&A with her, or what are we doing at 5? Okay. All right, gotcha. The demeanor, all that kind of stuff. What he said, how he acted, all blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah. So what do you want me to do? Do that first? And then bring her in? Okay, so we'll have 2 mics. All right, sounds good. And that's for the 5, and then she's doing the 6 by herself. Is that right? Okay. Wait, I didn't know. Okie dokie. Okay, all right, bye.
I like the bent ball.
So Luigi Mangione just wrapped up his arraignment in federal court just a little while ago. He, according to a reporter inside the courtroom, he was dressed in a tan-colored suit. He was also chatting and smiling with his defense team. Our reporter, Michelle Ross, is saying that everyone was in a good mood. He was also chatting mostly with Avi Moskowitz, his death penalty counsel. Our reporter is saying that they were both smiling a lot together. So it seems like he's in good spirits and in a tan-colored suit because he has to be in the jail suit from Brooklyn. He's being housed in Brooklyn right now in federal court, or excuse me, in federal jail. He, again, brown suit in there. He pled not guilty in federal court. And his attorneys are saying that they plan to likely move forward with this federal case first before the state case. Originally, they planned to do the state case first and then the federal case. But they said now that Mangione is being, that federal prosecutors are seeking the death penalty in this federal case, they want this federal case to go first. And so what it seems like right now is the judge is going to have everyone come back on December 5th. And then the judge is going to set a trial date for next year on that December 5th date. That could change that date because now, between now and December 5th, they have a whole schedule of when people have to turn over evidence, like federal prosecutors have to turn over evidence to Mangione's lawyers. They have to go through and file motions. So there's all deadlines for when federal prosecutors have to file motions and when Mangione's lawyers have to respond to this federal motion. Now, he is being charged in federal court. Again, they are seeking the death penalty there. The judge has not yet approved whether or not they will go ahead and go through with that guilty plea. With that, we'll go through with the death penalty, excuse me. Sorry about that. Perfect. So he was cuffed, yes. According to our reporter, Michelle, he was cuffed in that tan-colored suit. He's in the same courtroom as Diddy actually was. Yes, same colored jumpsuit, that like brown tan-colored jumpsuit from that from Brooklyn jail, federal Brooklyn jail. It's unclear if he's left court. From my understanding of past cases that I've covered, oftentimes after the hearing, the lawyers will be meeting with Mangione, likely to just discuss stuff, look over stuff, and they'll likely want some time with him to just discuss a couple of items before sending him back. That's likely what's kind of the holdup right now. As you can see, we have cameras lined up outside, reporters lined up outside. They're all hoping that Mangione's lawyer will come out and speak to reporters and sort of give more of an update on camera. Cameras are not allowed in federal court. We are expecting court sketches, but again, no cameras are allowed inside federal court. According to a reporter who was inside the courtroom, she says that he was in good spirits. I think she probably would have updated if he was crying. I don't believe he was crying, just because I feel like our reporter would have said something. But she had said that he was chatting and smiling and smirking with his defense team, and that everyone was in a good mood. So what's next in this process is they're going to be turning over evidence like witness, maybe testimony. They're going to be turning over the video or the security cameras, stuff like that. They're going to be turning over all the evidence that they have in the case over the next several months until December 5th. And then on December 5th, that's when the judge is going to set a trial for next year. With a case like this, especially with a death penalty, since federal prosecutors are seeking the death penalty, there needs to be a lot of time to go through the evidence. They need a lot of time to really make sure that Mangione is getting a fair trial here. So they're going to be really pouring through all the evidence. Again, right now they have a tentative date, I think, on December 5th to meet again to set that trial date, but that could get pushed back depending on how fast evidence is turned over and how fast some of these motions are going. They were going to go through that state case first, but now it looks like they're going to try at least to go through with this federal case first before they turn to the state case. We do not know if his family was there. It seems like Chelsea Manning was there. He had some other high-profile supporters who were there supporting him. Hopefully we get a couple more updates on if his family was there. But again, we're just sort of waiting to see if Mangione's lawyer will speak. So today during the arraignment, what sort of happened, I'm going to pull up my notes here for a second. So how it started, so he was brought in his brown jail uniform because civilian clothes are only allowed in state court, and he's still in being housed in federal jail in Brooklyn since his arrest. The judge asked if Mangione has read the indictment. He said he has. The judge asked, how do you plead? He said not guilty. Then they went into some of the discovery rules. The federal prosecutors said that they're going to be turning over warrants, social media information from Pennsylvania prosecutors, also from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. They're also going to be consulting and coordinating. Federal prosecutors say that they're going to be coordinating with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. They have wanted this state because obviously they're the same sort of case here, different charges and different courts, of course, but so they're going to be working in conjunction together. They're hoping for, obviously, discovery to be turned over as quickly as possible because Mangione's lawyers want a chance to go through it and respond. Right now, they haven't said what experts are going to be calling yet. The judge asked federal prosecutors what sort of experts they expect at the trial. Federal prosecutors said definitely the medical examiner, and then Mangione's lawyer says they're not prepared to address that at this time. They're still obviously waiting for evidence, and also, they're still compiling their case here. And the Mangione's lawyer, again, is saying that she is likely going to, right now for the state, there's hearings in the fall. There's no trial date yet, so they are hoping to pursue this federal case first before the state case. Now, something else that kind of came up, and we're hoping to get more information from a reporter who was there shortly, but something that came up was Mangione's lawyer is accusing state prosecutors of listening to a call between her and Mangione. And so I think that's likely going to be addressed later, and we'll have to see if Mangione's attorney addresses that when she comes out of court here. But the judge said that he's going to be considering the motion federal prosecutors have filed seeking the death penalty, and he's going to decide whether or not to preclude the seeking of the death penalty at a later date. It seems like maybe summer or fall he'll be deciding that. Yeah, so federal prosecutors announced that they were going to be directing U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced that she would be directing federal prosecutors to seek the death penalty for what she called, quote, an act of political violence and a, quote, premeditated, cold-blooded assassination that shocked America. Those are her words. And this is the first time that the Justice Department said it was pursuing capital punishment since President Donald Trump returned to office on January 20th with a vow to resume federal executions after they were halted under the previous administration. But Mangione's lawyers have been arguing that this was political, this announcement, and they are saying that this corrupted the grand jury process and deprived him of his constitutional right to due process, and they are seeking to block prosecutors from seeking that death penalty, and that, of course, will be figured out by the judge at a later date whether or not to even include this. Mangione's federal indictment includes a charge of murder through the use of a firearm, which carries a possibility of the death penalty. Here in the state murder charges that he is facing carry a maximum punishment of life in prison. So that is what we are waiting for right now. I believe we are under the impression that Mangione's attorney will be speaking. She's spoken in the past. She has been friendly to the media. A lot of their defense has centered around public sentiment from people really just showing and relying on the public to sort of show their support throughout this process. That's something, and one of the reasons why federal prosecutors have said that they're seeking the death penalty is because of how high profile this incident was. But we're waiting and hoping to see if Mangione's attorney will be speaking. My guess is she's likely speaking to Mangione before he heads back to the Brooklyn jail where he's being held right now. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Was he handcuffed?
He was shackled at the ankle.
Yeah, but not.
He walked out without me.
Without being shackled?
Yes,
No handcuffs. Okay, got you. All right. Thank you.
I saw this like a 3 feet.
Yeah, okay, thanks. I just can't bend down in this position and pick it up and charging, so.
Yes. This one here.
I just have the one over.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Don't even know.
Was able to get a copy of one part of it.
Where? Where'd they go out?
Come on already.
That's what they're saying.
They're gone? The lawyers are gone?
Tony.
Sorry, excuse me, guys. I gotta get this barrier.
So you guys are gonna move these now?
Yeah, because he's not coming out. Yeah, they're all gone.
Yeah. No, we were waiting for the attorneys.
Yeah, we're moving this one. Yeah, we're moving all of them. So the microphone's gotta come over. You guys It's over, man. Enjoy the rest of the day. Beautiful weekend. It's even better, man. It's even better. Yeah, good.
the burial and winter and summer. The sun will stop.
Hey, it's Christian. So, hey, so they want Michelle to do it on the live camera that I have. So,
Good. I'm gonna pull this one out.
okay, then what time?
No, I gotta push inwards because this thing's in. Right. So we gotta wait for it to move because it's gotta get pushed inside. Yeah, nah. All of these gotta get pushed inside.
Where you been? I was over there in the other panel, on that side. Small and tidy. Just let's go with the protesters too. They don't know who I am.
I got the all
Yeah.
all the staff. Me and
Oh,
Alan.
you were right there?
Yeah,
It's right there, right?
we got it. Hello. All right.
Just leave it like that, it's fine. Just leave it like that, just stand by here.
What happened? Yeah, put it in the wagon, yeah? No,
I'm gonna go live on YouTube right now.
You went to the other door.
Yeah, it's rolling video now. I'll call you right afterwards.
Yeah. You want to be in the chair? Oh, yeah, this is fine. We get in the corner, right? Yeah, yeah. I'm going to go. Just tell me when to walk in. Okay. Give me a mic check.
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
Good.
Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Ross, reporter at Fox 5. I was just inside of the courtroom for the Luigi Mangione appearance. Now, when he walked in, he looked differently from what we have seen him in the past from his preppy wardrobe. He walked in a beige-colored jumpsuit, similarly to what Diddy has been wearing at his appearances. They are both in federal custody, staying at the same federal courthouse. Now, when he walked in, he was smiling, talking with his attorneys, his defense attorneys. To the left of him was Avi Moskowitz, the death penalty consultant that that his team has hired, has brought onto his team. But everyone seemed to be in good spirits. Now, when they got into conversation about what the next steps will look like, the biggest things to come out of this is that their last trial date, the judge set multiple pre-trial appearances for the schedule. December 5th will be the last one for the year. That is when the judge will want a firm date for trial to begin in 2026. So December 5th, we will hopefully, according to the judge, get a trial date for this trial, for the federal trial. Now, this will be exactly 1 year and 1 day since the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, who was fatally shot in Midtown Manhattan outside the Hilton Hotel on December 4th. So December 5th will be the date that we will hopefully get a trial date. And what's interesting as well is that the state trial was supposed to go first, but because now the DOJ is seeking the death penalty, Karen Friedman-Ignifilo, who is the defense attorney for Luigi Mangione, said that she now wants the federal case to go first, which the judge agreed with, which the federal prosecutors agreed with as well. And something she mentioned also, she said that she heard that the state was eavesdropping on Luigi Mangione's phone calls, that with his attorney phone calls. When she brought this up, the judge gave the prosecution, the government, a chance to respond. They said that this was the first time they had heard anything of this. So the judge gave them about 7 days to write down a formal letter on what they were doing to make sure that his calls are now segregated. So this all took about 35 minutes. This was a pretty standard hearing. He pled not guilty to his charges. We've been waiting for this arraignment for months now. He already pled not guilty to his state charges back in December, late December. So now his federal charges, he now has pleaded not guilty, and that has taken a while now, also because of the death penalty being sought by prosecutors. So just to sum everything up again, Luigi Mangione walked into the courtroom today in a tan-colored suit, different from what we have seen him in the past in his preppy outfits, and his defense attorney is fighting against the death penalty, of course, and the judge wants to have a December 5th, a date on December 5th for the trial to be set next year. Thank you for tuning in.